away to the Malawati, and we've got one of the wigs just sitting on the nest. I'm pretty sure it's the female that's just sitting here at the moment. She's taking it very, very easy. She's not doing too much. It's that time now where she'll be starting, obviously, to breed. And so sitting on the nest is what we expect. Whether there's an egg there or not yet, we don't know, or multiple eggs. Not sure. Just before, kind of, what was it, 3-4 days ago, there was no sign of them here. They weren't sitting on the nest at all. It's only in the last sort of 3-4 days that they've been back and that she's been on the nest itself. So maybe she's laid by now and is just incubating, and that's why we're finding her on the nest quite regularly now. And hopefully they'll have a bit more luck this year than what they have had. Trying to see if I can see anything. All I can see is obviously her talons sticking out from underneath her body. She's all fluffed up and looks incredibly sleepy at this stage. Isn't it amazing though that we get to spend time with an owl and kind of be able to watch this whole process, and that they've chosen this little nesting spot that is so viewable for us. You know, a lot of times birds nest in places where it's very difficult to see. So for birds to be relaxed enough to nest somewhere and just kind of be happy for us to come and visit and take a look every day is pretty epic. Well, I think so anyway. It's cool that we can kind of follow the progress of these owls. I hope though that they do better. It's obviously very difficult in this area. Calvin, so some owls, yes, but spotted eagle owls, no. Spotted eagle owls are known to nest on the banks of riverbeds, or any sort of steep surface where they can carve out a little hollow that they can nest in. So you don't see these guys exclusively nesting on the ground. They will also nest in trees if they find them, but most of the time in this particular area and wild spaces, they tend to prefer these kinds of nests. Obviously in urban environments it's a lot harder for them to nest like this, and so then they'll utilize trees and nest boxes and those kind of things, but mostly they like to nest on little cavities in riverbeds or on cliffs. Those are places that they tend to thrive in. This particular nest though, unfortunately, is in not a great place. The ability to succeed with this nest is not good. If you look at the way the kind of bank is, it's very easy for a number of predators to get into this nest. If you come from that top side, it's not like it's a difficult place to get to. So things like mongoose, civet, genet, leopard, they would all be able to access this nest pretty quickly. And if you've got a young owl that is in, oh, look at this Bushshrike, just before we kind of, it's beautiful, it's in the sun, little orange-breasted Bushshrike sitting in the tree above us here. Don't fly away. It's just so pretty when they show particularly they show their chest. There we go, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful bird? That bright burnt orange on the chest area, and that little grey head and yellow. It's a very, 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 very pretty little bird, that. And you can hear one calling in the distance. This one hasn't started calling yet. It was calling just now. We were having an absolute serenade session by our little Bushshrikes earlier, and they've gone a bit quiet now. And you can see how difficult they are because they bounce around everywhere, and when they turn their back to you, they really do blend nicely. It's when they sort of got their chest to you that you really notice them, and off it goes into the depths of those bush willows. Beautiful little bird though. Quite a stark contrast from our owl when you think about the coloration differences. Our owl is designed to be completely camouflaged, whereas our Bushshrike not so much. You can also hear, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's some yellow-fronted canaries also calling above us at the moment, which is quite nice to hear them. Lots of birds in the Malawati this morning. I must admit, it's much easier to bird with people in real life. Trying to get the camera onto all these little birds is very, very tricky for the cameraman, and a lot of them don't sit still at all. You saw with that Bushshrike how it bounces all over the place. You know, things like owls tend to be a lot more relaxed and a lot more prone to just sitting tight, whereas you know, canaries and bushshrikes and the likes all tend to jump around and don't sit still, and they're much smaller as well, so getting them on camera is not easy. Shame the Wigs, or Mrs. Wig, look as though she's absolutely out cold. His eyes are tightly shut. It's almost like she's leaning into the bank a little bit. That's very cool. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal.